right, it was you and me.
Hello everyone, my name is 𝓶𝓚𝓤𝓚 and welcome back to my channel, or two if you are new, and today we are doing part 2 of Best Bingeable Romance Series. So a few months back I did Best Romance Book Series to binge and you guys really enjoyed that, and I decided to make a part 2 and talk about some of my favorite series. Again, I have so many on this list so I could just keep making parts and parts of this video, so I decided to make a part 2, and this one's especially even better because it's summer now, and if you are in school you basically have time to binge all the romances that you want. So I've been enjoying my time binging some romances this past summer, and I hope you guys can find some romance book series to add to your TBR and binge this summer too. So without further ado, let's get right into this video. So the first series that I'm going to recommend is the Dark First series by 𝓲𝓸𝓬𝓲𝓪. I have no idea how to pronounce her name, but I have binged this series and I became absolutely obsessed with it. The first book is The Predator and I loved this one. So basically this is like a mafia series, and the very first one follows basically the daughter of a mafia boss and the enemy of her father and their mafia. So Mirana, I do not know how to pronounce it, and Tristan. Mirana ended up dating this guy and he ended up stealing codes. She's this really good programmer. She's really good at programming. She found a bunch of codes that could create wars, and it's just really bad if these codes get out there. So her and that boyfriend have since broke up, but he stole those codes from her. Mirana thinks that he took it to the enemy mafia. So basically one night Mirana sneaks into the enemy's house, threatens to kill him. He doesn't get back the codes and he ends up, like, obviously he's like a mafia boss, hello, he obviously didn't die from her, but Tristan's like, I don't have your codes, I never took your codes, but now I want to help you find it. It's him and his best friend, and they are both like leaders of their family's mafia, and they're working together with Mirana to get back those codes that they have lost. And obviously Mirana's father cannot know that she's working with the enemies to get back the codes, because obviously that's really bad, they're enemies, and Mirana does not have a good relationship with her father, so it's just like a big hot mess, big hot mafia mess. And so they're basically all working together and romance ensues between Mirana and Tristan. It's so much fun. Tristan is such an alpha and such an asshole, and he's super cold, basically has no emotion, so it's so fun to like see him soften and just completely fall in love. So I love this book. The steamy scenes are unmatched. There's this one quote that he said that lives in my mind rent free. I made a TikTok on it. If you aren't following me on TikTok, it is nayemasreads, same as my YouTube channel. You guys should definitely go check me out over there. But I love this series. So the first 2 books follow Tristan and Mirana, and then the third book follows basically Tristan's best friend / brother, his love interest, which I just completely adored. His name is Dante, and he is like one of my top boyfriends ever. I love him. He is amazing. And so this whole Dark Force series is super fun. There are 2 more books coming out in this series, so you have time to catch up. They aren't coming out for a while, and they are just so much fun. I love the author. She is so incredibly sweet. We've talked a few times. It's just a really great series, and you guys would love it if you love mafia, dark romances. It's just so much fun. The next series that I'm going to recommend is basically the Braishaw Series by Megan Brandy, and I love this series. It is so good. I actually just finished it recently. I had read like the first 2 books and just absolutely loved them, but then just never picked up the next ones, and I binged them recently, and it was just like the best time ever. And so the first 3 books follow Raven and Maddox, and basically this series is about this girl named Raven. She just moves to this small town and she basically has to stay at a group home for girls, and she basically has been taken from her mom. Her mom hasn't been a good mom. She basically does not care about Raven at all, and she sells her body for drugs, and she isn't a good mother. And so she ends up having to leave her house and stay at a group home in this small town, and I just love this town so much. Raven starts Braishaw High and she meets a group of 3 bad boys. They own the town, of course, rule over all of Braishaw. Their family is very influential, so they really do own the town, and their job is really just to keep everybody loyal under certain rules. And so when Raven comes to town, they end up feeling very threatened by her because she is like a free spirit. She doesn't want to follow the rules. The boys fear that and Raven just goes about and does whatever she wants, then everybody will just go around and do whatever they want. And it's really cool because, again, they own the town. In that group home that Raven lives in, the boys actually live way behind that house, and they have their own house and they all live together, and it's just so much fun. And yeah, they basically have to keep Raven in check, and Raven is like, she's genuinely not like other girls, and she just does what she has to do. She's like a tough person. She's always looked out for herself. These boys trying to threaten her and just like get in her way. She doesn't like it. She's really just trying to finish high school, get out of town, and live her life, but they don't like her and they don't like what she is bringing to the table. And so it's really, really good. So the first 3 books follow Raven and Maddox. The 4th book follows Captain and his love interest, and then the 3rd book follows Royce and his love interest. Let me tell you guys, all I could think about for a solid week after I finished the last 2 books was Royce. Royce's book, which is Break Me, was by far my favorite in the series. Guys, it was so good. And then Captain's was really good also. The whole series is so amazing, and I really recommend you guys give it a try. It deters a lot of people when they find out that it is in high school, but honestly, it's just so much fun. It's just so much fun, and you guys need to read this series if you haven't already. It is amazing. The next series that I'm going to recommend is one that I read recently as well, and that is the Kingmaker series by Sophie Lark. I ended up loving it so much that I went and bought the first 3 books of the series, and so there's one more coming out at the end of this month, and I'm very excited. That one's called The Spy. So basically, the Kingmaker series is like Hogwarts meets Descendants meets Deadly Class, if you're familiar with that. This series follows daughters and sons of mafia bosses, and they go to this school called Kingmakers to basically learn about ruling a mafia and the steps that go into their family's mafia. These are basically the kids of her Brutal Birthright series, which is also a mafia series. So this follows their children, and it is just so amazing. You don't have to read their parents' books. I do recommend you do at least maybe like the first 2 books. That's what I did. I read Brutal Prince and then Stolen Heir, and then I just jumped right into this series. It is so good. So basically, the first book follows the heir, and this one, childhood friends to lovers, friends to lovers. These are best friends. They were kind of raised as family. They were raised as family just because their families are like really woven and tight, but they have no blood relation to each other. This follows Anna and Leo. Anna is this like ballet performer. She's super strong. Anna is the daughter of the couple in the 2nd book, which is Stolen Heir. And then Leo is the couple of another book down in the line in the Brutal Prince series. And so this is really good. They were raised as family, childhood friends to lovers. They basically go off to Kingmakers together. They are both in the Heir division, so they're training to take over their family's mafia. And this also has a little bit of a love triangle, and it's so much fun. Kingmakers is brutal. There's secrets going on around Kingmakers. There is harsh punishments in Kingmakers, and it's just so much fun. I literally binged these day after day after day after each other, and they're amazing. So the Heir is probably my favorite in the entire series. And then we also have The Rebel, and this is the 2nd book. The Rebel follows the son of the couple in Brutal Prince, which is the 1st book in the Brutal Birthright series. This is a forbidden romance, kind of hate to love. There are forces trying to pull them apart, and yeah, it's just really fun, super forbidden, and I love this one. And then the last one is The Bully, and The Bully is actually the sister of the heroine in The Rebel, and then also the hero is one of the guys that Anna from the 1st book gets into a love triangle with. And this one's so much fun. It's like hate to love. It's also a bully romance. He bullies the living crap out of her, and it is chef's kiss, just so good. So if you have not read the Kingmaker series by Sophie Lark, I really recommend it. It is so much fun. You will literally lose yourself here at Kingmakers. It's amazing, and I love it. And the 4th and last series I'm going to talk to you guys about today is the Royal Elite series by Rena Kent. I love this series so much. This is another series I just completely binged and fell in love with. This is a bully romance set in high school, and it is amazing. So this book follows Elsa and Aiden, and Elsa is new to Royal Elite School. She basically has just moved there. She makes a friend really quick. They become best friends, and on her very first day she runs into the group of boys who rule the school. The leader of that group, named Aiden, he sees her and he instantly hates her. He's like, I don't ever want to see you. I hate you, I'm gonna make your life a living hell. And she's so confused because she's like, I just met you, I'm so confused by this right now. And it is amazing, it is so good. So the first 3 books follow Aiden and Elsa, and they basically have this, I'm not gonna give any spoilers, but there are pretty woven ties in this romance, and lots of secrets are revealed, and everything that Aiden does, I wouldn't say it's like acceptable or he gets like a pass, but it does make sense. It's not as like vicious as like, I hate you and leave me alone, you know, there is a reason behind it. And so the first 3 books follow Aiden and Elsa. This is a dark romance, so be aware. And then the rest of the books follow the other guys in the series, and it is just so much fun, so much bullying, so much darkness. It's just so amazing, and I loved it. And there's certain things that I love in here, like jealousy, like making the other person jealous, which I just love, and the bullying aspect and the jealousy and the possessiveness. It's just so much fun. This one does take place in high school, so I know a lot of you don't like that, but if you can just like look past that for this series, please do. It's so much fun and it's just amazing, and I just know you guys will love it too. My little dark souls out there, you guys will love this too for sure. That is the last series that I'm going to talk to you guys about today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to leave a big like and a comment down below, and also subscribe so you never miss another upload from me. If you guys have any series that I need to read and check out, please let me know down below in the comments. I love binging series and I can't wait to add more to my TBR. And yeah, for now, that is all, and I will see you guys with a new video. Bye!
If I got one thing right, it was you.